Hi guys, this is Suzanne. Welcome to Sweet Tea and Whimsy. Let's get started, guys. I'm so excited. Today we're going to do a garden hose wreath. Yes, a garden hose wreath. I went out, got a couple of supplies. Most of these items I already had on hand, but I want to share with you what we'll be using to get started with today's project. First, I gathered up an old garden hose. I did not even go out and purchase a new garden hose. However, if you want to, I understand that you can get some relatively inexpensive garden hoses for less than $6. But this is one that my husband was getting ready to throw away. And I said, no, do not throw it away. I will use it for some sort of project. So this was a rather large, long water hose, and I actually cut it in half, and I simply did this with just a little hand saw. So I cut it in half to get about the amount that I wanted to use for this project. And I even saved the old garden hose nozzle, all rusted and absolutely beautiful. So this is what I was able to repurpose. And I gathered up a couple of other items that I would need for this project. You're gonna need a pair of scissors. You're going to need some ribbon, and I just pulled some ribbon from my stash. I'm thinking that I will use this color coordination here with the blue, the polka dots, and maybe a little bit of the burlap. And then I have a little basket of supplies that I will show you what we're going to be using. First are these little Dollar Tree dragonflies that I found. I think that we might use these. I think these will be rather cute as a decoration on the wreath when we get finished. I purchased a pair of Dollar Tree garden gloves, some seed packets from the Dollar Tree. I picked up blue because you can see that it looks like the color combination that I'm going with is blue. So I was able to pick up coordinating items. In with the blue, I'm going to put a little bit of purple lavender. They have these adorable little pots of lavender at the Dollar Tree. So I picked up a couple of those. I purchased some flexible garden tie string. This is very flexible. I've cut a piece off, I'll show you. It's very flexible. You can cut it with a pair of scissors, and you can use it to hold the items together. So I purchased a pack of this, and I also purchased some of the foam insert. I may or may not use this, but I went ahead and purchased it just in case I need it. So that's our little basket of supplies that we've got ready. And I pulled a stash of flowers from my, I pulled some flowers from my stash in this beautiful old vase. Look at this, guys. I know you love this. But anyway, I think I'm going to use mostly this blue and white, and I might throw in just a little bit of this purple. We'll just see how it comes together. And another cute item that I found at the Dollar Tree was this cute little garden stake. It's a little frog, so we may somehow incorporate him into our garden hose wreath. So we'll go ahead and we'll get started. Before I got started, I actually cleaned up this water hose just a little bit. It was rather dirty, so I cleaned it up and wiped it down. It's still a little bit damp, but I think that it's dry enough that we can go ahead and get started. So the first thing that you're going to do is determine the shape that you want your wreath to be and where you want the ends of the garden hose to be when the wreath is finished. And what I mean by that, you may want this portion of the hose to be at the top, or you may want it to be more to the side. And so you have to kind of decide which way you want your wreath to be, and that will help you decide where you want the end of the hose to rest on your finished wreath. So I think I have my hose laid out the way that I want it to be. And I'm going to start by cutting some of the flexible tie wire. And I can simply cut it with my pair of scissors to the length that I want it. And I'm just starting out with a rather long length just to make sure that I have enough. And I'm just going to gather up one side. It doesn't matter which side you start with. And I'm just going to put the wire tie around and start tightening it together so that the hose will stay in place. This really works well, guys, and I'm sure you can think of a lot of different uses for this, so it's always good to have some of this on hand. So I'm just going to leave that as is for right now. I'm going to turn my hose around so that I can gather up another side of my hose. Cut off another length of the flexible tie wire. And again, do the same thing. Tighten it together and twist. That one's done. I'm just going to leave it there for now. And this is what it's looking like so far, guys. And I may just tuck this in and leave it just like this. I think that I want to leave this part hanging. So really I've only tied this top portion here, and I've left the bottom more loosely fit together on the wreath. This top portion is more tightly held together with the bottom portion hanging more loosely. So that part is done. Again, I'm just leaving my twisted wires in place until I get ready to cut them off. And now I need to decide which way I want my wreath to hang on the door. And I think that I want it to hang so that this portion is hanging down. So this will be the top where it's hanging. So that will determine where I want to place my flowers. And this is where I'm thinking that I'm going to use my foam insert. Here's what I'm thinking, guys. I'm thinking that I'm going to insert this foam here in between layers of the hose. And then I'm going to get another piece of the wire tie. And I'm going to cinch this together right over the foam insert so that it more or less will stay in place. See how well that works, guys? So there's your wire tie holding your foam insert in place. It's not going anywhere. It's in there pretty well. So I think I'll go ahead at this point and cut the wire ties here where I'm going to be putting in the flowers. So I guess I can just go ahead at this point and clip all the flexible wire ties. Okay, now those are out of the way. And we'll get started with the next step. And this is where the fun begins. You get to decorate your garden hose wreath. So I'm back and I got some wire cutters, and I think that I'm going to snip each of these individual stems. And that's going to work a lot better. So let me get these ready, guys, and then we'll try adding the flowers one more time. Just a couple of more stems to cut, and we'll be ready. Okay, so now I'm ready to add these flowers back in. And again, I'm going to use the foam insert to add the flowers. Next, I'm going to remove all the little tags from the little pots of lavender. And I will get those ready for the wreath. And I'm going to just spread these out a little bit so they're not all bunched up together. And I think that's good. And I'm just going to decide where these need to be on the wreath. And I'm going to, again, use some of the flexible tie wire. And I'm simply going to place it where I think it looks pretty. And I'm going to wrap it tightly and snugly, and then twist it on the back side. Okay, let's add another one. I think I'll do another one right here beside it. Get my flexible wire tie. Cut me a length off. Position it where I want it to be on the wreath. And then begin tightening it at the back. I think I'll add the last of the 3 pots of lavender here in the same area. Position it where you want it to be on the wreath. Look how cute this is, guys. So I'm gonna make sure that this is staying on well. And I think this is looking pretty good. I really like the combination of the blue and the white. My little lavender pot actually fell out, so I'm going to adhere these little pots with a little dab of super glue before I hang this up on the door. So I've got my flowers added. And next I'm going to come here with my pair of gloves and I'm just going to snip the tag. And I'm going to leave one side with the polka dots and one side with the gingham. And I'm going to get a piece of the wire wrap. And I'm simply going to go under just a little bit of the hose. And I'm going to cinch these together. Right here. Just like that. I think I'll use my wire cutters. So we have the gloves on. And next we will add some of the seed packs. We will add some of the dragonflies. And we will also add the water hose nozzle. I'll go ahead and add it right here on top of the gloves, I think. Let's see here. So I've got the water hose nozzle added. That's what it looks like. So I've got my ribbon. So I'm getting ready to add a little glue to my lavender pots so they will stay on the wreath better and I won't worry about them falling off. And I'm also going to trim a couple of these flowers just a little bit shorter so that I can add some shorter flowers to this wreath. now that I have all the flowers ready, I'm going to open up the dragonflies. And these dragonflies have a little sharp pin attached to it. So on a couple of them, I think I'm going to put them on the clay pots. It's my second pack of dragonflies. And I think I'll put one here on the flowers. And so let's put a little glue on these flower pots. I'm going to hold it for just a moment to give it time to get a real good hold of it. And then I'll also put a little bit here underneath this flexible wire wrap. And I'll just repeat that for each of these little clay pots. Okay, next I'm going to add my seed packets. And then I'm going to take the little garden stake frog, and I am going to add him guys. Here's the finished wreath. I think it's really cute. I like the way it turned out. I think it's perfect for summer. And that's it, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you will subscribe and like this video and comment below and tell me what you would add to your garden hose wreath.